Okay, good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. So, today and all this week, we are going to spend some time on finding slope between 2 points. So, we're going to start off with the point 4, 3, and then we have another point that's on the line, and let's just call it 2, 7. There's a couple different ways we can look at this. Remember that slope is the change in y over the change in x. We also have to remember that when we have ordered pairs, we have x comma y, x comma y. Okay, so I'm going to look at my change in the y values. I'm going from 3 to 7. 3 to 7 moves us to the right. It gets us a bigger number, and it moves it 4 spots on a number line. If you need to look at a number line, feel free to grab another number line. So that's my change in y. Now if I look at my change in my x values, we are going from 4 to 2. Please note that if we're moving to the right for our y's, we have to move to the right for the x's. So if I'm going from 4 to 2, I am getting smaller by 2. If I'm going up and down, positive divided by negative in the end will give me a negative. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my slope is -2, or my slope is -2 over 1, or my slope is 2 over -1, as long as we have a negative here. Okay. Now, some of us aren't very good with number lines, so I'm going to give you a second way to do this. I'm going to still use 4, 3 and 2, 7, and I'm going to give you an equation you need to kind of remember. So it's the change in y, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the way I look at this, okay, we're going to write our x and y. Well, this is our first ordered pair, so we're going to call this x1, y1. This is our second ordered pair. We're going to call it x2, y2. Now, our equation says to take y2 and subtract y1. So we're going to take y2 is 7, and we're going to subtract y1, which is 3. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Okay, then I'm looking at my change in x value. So x2 minus x1, well, here's x2. 2 minus, my x1 is over here, it's 4. 2 minus 4, and you can plug it into a calculator, is -2. I know that 4 divided by -2 is -2. You will not have any decimals for your slope. No decimals. Okay, they need to be fractions, or they need to be whole numbers. A whole number would be like -2. And it got us to the same answer. Okay, let's try another one. Let's do 5, 0, and -6, -3. So we're looking for slope. We're looking for the change in y divided by the change in x. And we're going to use our formula, y2 minus y1. Hopefully you wrote that down. Divided by x2 minus x1. Take some time to pause the video and write that down if you need to. So I'm going to write my xy. This one's my first ordered pair, so we have x1, y1. This is my second ordered pair, so we have x2, y2. All right, so our formula, remembers y2 minus y1. So y2 is -3 minus y1, which is 0. -3 minus 0 is -3 when you put that in a calculator. Okay, and then it's x2 minus x1. So we have -6 minus 5, which is my x1. -6 minus 5 gives me -11. Now, I know that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. You cannot leave a negative divided by a negative. So my slope is 3 over 11. Now, I cannot simplify 3 over 11. 3 doesn't go into 11, so we can't simplify. My slope is 3/11. Let's try another one. 4 comma negative 10. We're going to do lots of negatives. And negative 7 comma negative 4. Okay, we go back to our formula. So I need to write xy, xy. Remember, these are alphabetical order. And let's see, this is my first ordered pair, so x1, y1. This is my second ordered pair, so x2, y2. Can you guess what my next ordered pair would be called? X3 comma y3. Next one would be x4 comma y4. Okay, so my formula says y2 minus y1. So negative 4. Here's the minus from my formula, and my y1 is negative 10. So if you want, you can plug into your calculator negative 4 minus negative 10. Or if you know two negatives make a positive, negative 4 plus 10 is 6. Okay, then if I take x2 minus x1, here's my x2. We've got negative 7 minus, because minus is part of our formula. X1 is negative 4. So you can type into your calculator negative 7 minus negative 4. Or we know two negatives make a positive. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. So my slope is 6 over negative 3. However, I'm not going to leave it like this because I know 3 goes into both of these numbers. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. So that's an acceptable answer. You might just know, oh, hey, I know that 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. These are essentially the same number. They're the same answer. I'm okay with either a whole number or a simplified fraction. Remember, no decimals, and do not leave things unsimplified. Let's do one more. So if you're feeling confident, you're feeling comfortable, stop your video, be done. Okay, but I'm going to do one more example, and we're going to use some negatives. Let's do a little bit bigger number. Let's go negative 20 comma negative 15 and negative 40 comma 12. So we label all ordered pairs x comma y. This is my first ordered pair. This is my second ordered pair. Now this would be a good test right now to pause the video and try to do this one on your own and then start the video back up and see if you got the correct answer. So now that we're checking y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1 over x2, negative 40, minus x1, which is negative 20. So we have two negatives in here because remember our formula uses that first minus sign. Okay, so we've got 12 plus 15, which is 27. We have negative 40 plus 20, which is negative 20. Now I know that I cannot simplify 27 and 20 because there's no number that goes into both. So that is my slope. Now, the computer will also accept if we put that negative on the 27 instead of the 20. So don't worry necessarily about where the negative is at because I've told the computer to accept either one of them. Just remember, 27 has to be on top and 20 has to be on the bottom. Okay, remember if you have questions at any time, feel free to send me an email. Let me know. We can do a Google Meet or communicate via email. Have a great week.